Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is your MF Michael Flecha alongside Anthony Florio. We were hoping to get Dee Woodson and Michael Bullock here. However, Michael Bullock is not here at the moment, and Dee, rightfully so, because of the big news that happened with her family earlier today. Chances are she might not be on the show. If that's the case, then that's more than fine. I think Anthony and myself will not mind at all. We wish Dee and her family nothing but the best. If we'll let her talk about it sooner rather than later, and we'll go into that kind of news. Um, down the line. But as far as anything else goes, we'll go from there. But we start SmackDown Live, as always, from the O2 Arena in London, England, second night for this event. And it started out with an in-ring segment. Daniel Bryan cuts a promo, and oh my goodness, man. I mean, what is there to say? This crowd was red hot for Daniel Bryan. Then it was interrupted by Big Cass, trying to be the trying to shove it down Daniel's face about everything that's been happening lately and the whole 9 yards. Uh, well, the next thing you know, Daniel had enough. He goes off and uh, basically goes off on Big Cass, beats the living daylights out of him, basically hooks him into a heel lock, and makes Big Cass tap out and does not release the hold. It gets to the point where a whole bunch of referees had to jump in and literally pull Daniel Bryan physically off Big Cass. He got to the tipping point. He got into that point where enough was enough, and Daniel went off. Holy cow. This was awesome. This was a very different Daniel Bryan. You push him to that level. You know he's a Zen guy, but you push him to that level. You piss him off enough, he goes off. And tonight he went off. He went after Big Cass, rightfully so. And this was an excellent segment. For me, I could even call this segment of the night. And I know the Yes Movement was very pleased with this. Anthony Florio, come on in. Oh my God, what got into your boy tonight?
That ridiculously over spirit. That's what got into him, MF. I mean, wow. I don't know what else there is to say on that, but yes, indeed. Hello, friends. Anthony Florio here with you for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. Glad to have you with us. And, well, okay. I agree. It was the segment of the night. I do have one little nitpick I have to be honest with. Big Cass's promo. I thought it was rather disastrous. Even though he has improved on the mic, nothing he said there made sense. And I think that's more on the creative team than anything else. He said that he tapped out at Backlash in order to get back up as quickly as possible to beat Bryan down into the ground. Okay, so, but that being said, the crowd, that crowd really hated him. And his delivery on the mic, particularly the hilariously exaggerated voices, that was good. But WWE creative, please give this guy lines that actually make sense. That's all I can say there. But nonetheless, I mean, Daniel Bryan beating up on Big Cass, I mean, that was satisfying to watch. And I got to be honest, I think we need to see more baby faces portrayed as smart competitors, relentlessly attacking the weakness of their foes. I'd like to see more of that. But, but nonetheless, this was the segment of the night, and it was particularly satisfying to watch Daniel Bryan beat up on Big Cass, and that made it worth watching. So, absolutely segment of the night. I think we're probably on par for another Bryan and Cass bout, maybe at Money in the Bank. So, that's really all I can say there. So, nothing more to say except let's get into the in-ring action, MF. We got some matches to get into.
first fight of the night, it was a match that actually was promoted on, and we were talking about this one going in. This was the a tag team match, as it was Biggie and Xavier Woods versus Cesaro and Sheamus, the Bar. And here's the caveat on this one: the winner of this match gets to send one member of the team. Now, if Cesaro and Sheamus wins, then one of the members of the Bar gets to go. If New Day wins, then they have to decide which of the three gets to go to the Money in the Bank ladder match, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And you already know the lineup up to this point. Well, when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout and the team that will have to make the choice on who goes to Money in the Bank is the New Day. They win it at 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Anthony Florio, it's all yours. Pretty good fight.
Solid match as per usual when these two teams are involved in that. Absolutely. I'm going to give it 2.5 to 3 for that. And well, you noticed on commentary, The Miz was selling the idea that the New Day could have some dissension amongst the ranks, picking a member, since Money in the Bank is a career-changing event. The New Day are inseparable, so it's very hard seeing this coming in the way of anything. But still, it'll be very interesting to see how they select their representative after an impressive victory over the Bar. So if I had to guess, if I had to be the betting man on who gets into this match, my gut is telling me Kofi Kingston because of, Kofi's history in the Money in the Bank, and because, he is a human highlight reel after all. We've seen him do some insane things, mainly in the Royal Rumble matches over the years, but I got a feeling that Xavier might end up getting into this. I mean, Xavier Woods he's been showcased a lot more, and he has really, really gotten so much better. I mean, I thought he was the weak link of the New Day, if I'm going to be honest with you, but he's gotten so much better. He has improved leaps and bounds, and I think they're going to maybe consider putting him in the match because, throw away that predictability factor. People are going to be like, oh, it's going to be Kofi. It's going to be Kofi because of his history. No, I could see possibly Xavier getting into this. So that's just my way of thinking about it. So 2.5 to 3, like I said, solid match as usual when these two teams are involved. So nothing more to say here. So MF, I think Xavier is ultimately going to get in. I don't know about you.
Man, I don't know. This is tough. Of course, the human highlight reel would be to have, to definitely see Kofi be the guy to represent him, and that would be pretty awesome. One other person I would say who would be worthy enough, it has to be Big E, because you do got Braun Strowman in there. You want to have maybe another big monster guy to be in that fight. And you got some rugged men in that match, so Big E would make a valid point. But I also, yes, I think you have a great opportunity, or I will even agree with you, Anthony, that maybe it would be better to see what we're gonna get. And I don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. To see Xavier be the third that man, we'll have to wait and see what happens. So we'll go from there. So we had a backstage segment. Well, actually, no. We'll skip all that. Next thing we had. All right. I am going to have my fun right now. Andrade Cien Almas makes his debut on SmackDown Live against a local guy, Jake Casastino was his name. and he went one-on-one with Jay Castistino, and Andrade Cien wins the match in 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay, here's the thing. You know this was meant to showcase Andrade, show him what he's got, show him what he's going to bring to the table on SmackDown Live. Normally when you start a new guy, normally you get an enhancement talent, so let's not freak out, okay? This is one of those where we should have known this was going to happen. We should have known this was going to happen. But obviously, worst fight of the night. We're not going to harp on that, but very clear. We are going to get a interesting situation, and we'll go from there. So, but Zelina Vega, oh my goodness. Yes, I'm a little tongue-tied. But she says she expects more from SmackDown, and she mocked the competition provided that they are going to take over. All right, fair enough. 1 week in, I like what I see. And this is going to get even better, I think. We'll wait and see what happens. All right, so next thing we had was the Melibration, the Melibration. So it was a carbon copy of the celebration that we saw in Providence, Rhode Island, but there was one little thing that happened. Paige showed up, gets a hero's welcome from her fellow jolly old English brethren, and she says that, you know, with all this stuff going on about the royal wedding coming up with Prince Harry and American Meghan Markle, and they've been talking about this one for the last few days now, but she had a royal proclamation that she wanted it to make. At Money in the Bank in Chicago, that's coming up in about, I want to say, a couple of weeks, Paige has announced a match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's going to be the reigning champion, Carmella, the Princess of Staten Island, and she's going to be going one-on-one, putting the title on the line against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we got ourselves a new champion coming to SmackDown Live, and may God have mercy on the women's division when this happens. Anthony Florio, we're not going to talk about the Melibration because we know that was almost cookie cutter standard, but the Asuka news, oh my.
Well, I'll put the segment to bed here quick. We'll park it here. Fine segment. Carmella was annoying in a good way, and we have another match set for Money in the Bank, and we'll see if Asuka can have a good match with Carmella, whereas Charlotte Flair failed at Backlash. And I feel once again Carmella delivered with her promo, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see Asuka potentially take the title off of her. And I know for a fact if Didi Woodson was with us tonight, I mean, Didi Woodson would probably be grinning like a Cheshire cat right now, because we all know how much Didi Woodson cannot stand Carmella. I mean, one of two on her hit list, of course, the other being Alexa Bliss. But man alive, I mean, Asuka and Carmella at Money in the Bank. I mean, we got two huge women's championship matches for this event. You got Nia Jackson, Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. And now you've got Mella and Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Can Carmella do what Charlotte did at WrestleMania? Knock her off. It's hard to see anything or anybody stopping her from claiming the title for Asuka. I mean, Asuka's got her eyes set on it, and it's hard to see anything or anybody stopping her from claiming that title as her own. And like I said, I'm excited to potentially see Asuka take the belt off of her. So, pretty good stuff there. So, so nothing really more to say here. So, looking forward to it. I do have a couple of things I want to report here from the sports world. The Tampa Bay Lightning have gotten back into the Eastern Conference Finals in the Stanley Cup. They defeat the Washington Capitals 4-2 to cut the Capital lead to 2-1. And if you can believe this, the Boston Celtics have done it again. They have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 107-94, and they're now up 2-0 in that Eastern Conference Final. Unbelievable. So nothing more to say here. So MF, how do you follow that? Let's move on.
Well, I mean, let's just move on to the next thing that we had was actually a triple threat match. And this was actually very big because earlier in the evening, Absolution, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville basically was asking for an opportunity for the Money in the Bank. And Paige was like, okay, I'll agree. We'll do this. However, next week, tonight, I'm going to put you in a triple threat match. Whoever wins the match goes to Money in the Bank. You get to represent and be a part of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So we had Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Becky Lynch added to the fight. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 8 minutes even, and to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank to now join. Let me get it. Ember Moon, Charlotte. Who won last night? It was Alexa Bliss. And now the 4th member of the women's Money in the Bank match, the Irish Lass Kicker, Becky Lynch. She was straight fire tonight. And I am so happy she's going to Money in the Bank. This is perfect, man. I am so thrilled with this news. And oh my God, man. The women's Money in the Bank match. I don't know, Anthony. I think it's starting to become better than the men. Honestly. Look at the lineup. Ember Moon, like I said, the warrior goddess, the queen herself, Charlotte Flair, the goddess, Alexa Bliss, and now the Irish Lass Kicker, Becky Lynch. That is a strong 4 right there. And we're not even done yet. Remember, there's 8 that needs to be filled. So we still got a couple of levels left. And on top of that, next week on SmackDown, another women's Money in the Bank qualifying match will be done. Lana will go one-on-one with iconic member Billie Kay. That's Anthony's girl. Billie Kay and Lana next week on SmackDown Live. And oh, by the way, the final men's Money in the Bank ladder match to fill the 8th spot. Oh, just Samoa Joe versus Big Cass next week on SmackDown Live. I mean, just nothing that bad. I mean, what? So, all right, Florio, go ahead. It's all yours.
Fun match. But by the way, what was your rating for the bout, MF?
I could say about 2.5. I mean, like you said, fun match, solid fight.
2.25, 2.5. I agree. It was a fun match. I mean, it's always great to watch Becky in the ring, and the interactions between Mandy and Sonya were also worthwhile, to be honest there. And I love that Becky got the win and got into Money in the Bank. I mean, I do have a little nitpick here. I mean, the match was okay, but it largely felt disjointed and far from smooth. And the triple threats are all running together. And I kind of would have personally preferred more one-on-one bouts for these qualifiers, if I'm going to be real honest. Billie Kay and Lana next week. That's a Tony special right there, because you know how I feel about both of them, MF. And but especially Billie Kay. I mean, the femme fatale from Australia. Oh, that's gonna be hella fun for me. I mean, oh boy. I mean, I'm already, my heart's already racing thinking about those two beauties throwing down next week. Oh my gosh. Wow. But nonetheless, it was a solid, fun match for the most part. And yeah, that women's Money in the Bank is starting to look a lot better than the men's match. Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss. I mean, all former champions in their own right, although Ember Moon is a former NXT women's champion. But one day she will be a Raw women's champion. You can bet on that. Maybe by the end of this year, you don't know. But Charlotte, Becky, and Alexa, all former WWE women's champions, all former SmackDown women's champions. So think about that. That's a recipe for some fun right there. I think Billie Kay will get that. We'll get the next spot against Lana, and then we'll see what they decide to do on Monday Night Raw. I mean, we got Ember and Alexa in there right now. 2 more spots available. I don't know how they'll fill it in Albany on Monday, but we'll find out. But you talk about Joe and Cass. I mean, oh my goodness. Can you say be a man fight? Because that's exactly what that's going to be. That's going to be a man hoss fight, as a lot of the reviewers like to say nowadays. So, holy. That's going to be something. So really nothing more to say here. So 2.25, 2.5. I agree with the rating for the most part. So nice win for Becky. It's about time to give her a meaningful win. It's been a while since she's had one. So I'm going to be interested to see the dynamic between Becky and Charlotte. I mean, remember, they're the besties. You know, they like to sip tea together. Well, come Father's Day night, there ain't going to be no damn tea time. That's all I'm going to say on that. So every woman for herself for that white and green contract, for that white and green briefcase, rather. So we'll see what happens. So that's one of the many things I'm looking forward to about that women's Money in the Bank match, the Becky and Charlotte interaction. Every woman for herself. So we'll find out. All right, MF, let's move on. And hey, we got Bullock with us. Catch him up, MF.
A very happy person, to say the very least.
Yes, I know. We see the shirt. Yep. The Boston Celtics did indeed beat the Cleveland Cavaliers again tonight. Second time they've done that. 2 more times. And is it possible the green rush for the 18th banner at TD Garden? We'll see. All right, Bullock, you got a lot of catching up to do. So we're gonna have to go like rapid fire or whatever. But we started off with an in-ring segment with your boy Daniel Bryan to start the show. So give me your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment to start off this edition of SmackDown Live. I mean, obviously, Big Cass eventually came out, and yeah, I mean, let's just say our boy, the Yes Man, really got the last laugh on Big Cass. So something tells me I think there's going to be another match between these two somewhere down the line. So we're just going to have to wait and find out on it. So let's just move right along, Fletch.
Biggie Langston and Xavier Woods versus Sheamus and Cesaro. The winner of the the winner of that fight gets one of the spots in the Money in the Bank ladder match. The winner of the bout, the New Day, at 9 minutes and 25 seconds. So give me your thoughts on this match.
I'm going to give this about 2.5 stars. I mean, I thought it was a good quality match here. Yeah, I mean, nice win for the New Day and in this match. I mean, now the big question is, who's going to represent the New Day in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match? We'll have to wait and see on that. So, nothing else to say. Let's just move on.
All right. We actually called cutout here. We never really got a chance to review it, so we're just gonna let you be Bullock. It was Andrade Cien versus Jake Constantino. Andrade Cien won it at 1 minute and 20 seconds. So, like I said, that was a cutout. Then we had an in-ring segment with your girl Carmella, as she was cutting. Yeah, well, she was cutting her promo. Paige made the announcement that at Money in the Bank, he's going up against Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. So, all right, Bullock, I know you would love to see this, but go ahead, man. I think we know where you're lining on, where your allegiance are going to lie on this one.
Well, the truth being the matter is, I mean, I thought it was a good segment from Carmella. I mean, she's trying to continue this. She continues to garner heat, basically sticking it to everybody, basically mentioning, I beaten Charlotte Flair twice. I'm sorry, I'm getting sick and tired of it. I mean, and I know if Dee Woodson was here, she probably would echo the same sentiments, but hold the phones. Paige comes out and basically tells Carmella, you got yourself a title defense at Money in the Bank. And who's the opponent? The Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Yeah, so, all I can basically say is, Carmella, Asuka's gonna kill you. Asuka's gonna kill you. Move along.
All right, very well. The next fight that we had here on SmackDown Live was a Money in the Bank qualifier for the women. Becky Lynch versus Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. The winner of the bout in 8 minutes. It was Becky Lynch. She now joins the War Goddess, Amber Moon. She also joins the Queen Charlotte Flair, and most notably, who got in last night on SmackDown Live, the goddess herself, Alexa Bliss. So, Michael Bullock, give me your thoughts about the fight.
I'll give this about 2.5 stars. I mean, I thought it was a fine match for what it was, and yeah, congratulations to Becky Lynch. She's now on to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So let's just move right along, Fletch.
All right, and now you are virtually caught up. So there's only one. Well, yeah, no, we'll talk about this later. But oh my goodness, what a main event we had! AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, non-title match. However, the winner of this fight gets to choose the stipulation for the WWE Championship fight at Money in the Bank, and the winner of the bout in 17 minutes and 35 seconds, and to earn the right to choose the special stipulation for the WWE Championship fight at Money in the Bank is the artist formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura. He wins it. I believe this goes to... Should we give it to Bullock? Because he's... You know what? I'll do it. Okay. I'll give it to you, Michael Bullock. I'll let you lead off on this. So go ahead. Give me your thoughts on the main event.
Oh, no doubt about it. This was definitely the fight of the night. I'm going to give this about 3 3/4 of a star to maybe 4, if I'm going to be quite honest. But yeah, what a main event here. And now basically Shinsuke Nakamura gets to choose the stipulation. So now the big question is, what is the stipulation? I think my guess is it's going to end up being, I'm really hoping that it's no holds barred. That's what I'm hoping for, especially after the way the last 2 matches ended. So we'll probably wait and see. Could the announcement occur next week? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. So I'm just gonna. Who do I give it to? Do I give it to you, Fletch?
I'll take it. I'll take it for a spin, Michael
Oh,
Bullock.
okay. All right.
I'll take it for a spin. I'll take it now. Oh my God, what a match! I think we finally got a little piece of that battle. It felt. I'm not gonna say that was nowhere near Wrestle Kingdom because I think that'll never be. But oh my God, what a fight! What a match! This was by far the best in their series, and this was an amazing main event. I got to give it 4. This was just like Anthony Florio, how he says that Seth Rollins is the workhorse for Monday Night Raw. You just saw AJ Styles become the workhorse of SmackDown Live, and his battles with Shinsuke Nakamura is getting better and better and better. I think they finally found the niche. They finally found that battle. The storytelling was perfect. The way that they set it up, the whole way through, this was this was great. This was amazing, and it worked. It came to the perfect way to end it. Yes, I know there was a little bit of shenanigans, but this was a main event that was worthy of the European crowd. They ate it up. It was awesome. This is what we expect from these 2 guys each and every time out. This was a great way to close SmackDown Live. Fight of the night. 4 stars. Anthony, you're probably going to fight me on this one. Or maybe you might agree. I don't know. But give me your thoughts.
3.5 to 4. That's what it is. I'll definitely give you the 4 on that, MF, but 3.5 at worst. But 3.5 to 4, we're all agreed this is the fight of the night. Very good main event. And when it comes to these 2 in the WWE, you nailed it. Best match the 2 have had so far. They got time. And in my opinion, this felt like the first time that it felt as if Nakamura fully embraced his new heel role in the ring fully. His actions, the work, the mannerisms, and the finish all worked really well together. And now Nakamura gets to pick the stipulation for the rematch at Money in the Bank. Hopefully what he picks is something good and allows for him to win, as he really needs to finally screw over AJ and win the title. Me personally, I'm hoping for an instant classic Iron Man match. That's what I want to see. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm just going to, before we get to our overall review, I want to leave you with these 7 words. This is absolutely a must-watch match. Period. And the statement and the quotation. Let's get to our overall review on that.
I'll start it off. Anthony, you were yelling at me. You were challenging SmackDown Live, saying, "Well, you got to deliver because Raw delivered a night ago." I'm gonna say it. I think SmackDown Live gave a pretty good rebuttal and came pretty hard with their retaliatory hit only one match was really bad, and that was the Andre Cien Almas, which was understandable because that was his first fight. But every other match was solid to good. The opening segment by Daniel Bryan, incredible, awesome. You had the celebration. Of course, it was annoying, but we got the ultimate payoff with Asuka now having an opportunity at the SmackDown Women's title in Money in the Bank. Then we had a good opening match. We had a very good opening match of the evening with the tag team with the New Day versus the Bar. That was solid. We had a good good triple threat for the Money in the Bank for the women. That was solid. Then we had, the main event. Then the main event just absolutely killed this show and brought it to a great level, a great ending. Now we have two fights that we're looking forward to next week, as we're going to have Lana versus Billie Kay from the Iconics. And then we got Samoa Joe and Big Cass one-on-one. Winner goes to Money in the Bank and is practically the final member of the Money in the Bank ladder match. I mean, SmackDown Live hits it out of the park. They had a red hot crowd in the O2 Arena in London. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. There's nothing more to say about it. Anthony, you asked SmackDown Live to answer the bell, to give it, to try to top what they did. I don't think they topped it, but they came pretty damn close to it. I think they tied Monday Night Raw this time around. This was a very good show. To me, 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Anthony, it's yours.
You're absolutely right. 7 to 7.5. Very good show. Strong episode. The Bryan and Cass angle was good. Good and quality matches. Nice build to Money in the Bank. I mean, AJ and Shinsuke stole the show. That's all there is to it. We were expecting that. That opening tag match. I mean, another good match between those two. No surprise. Good opening match, and now we wait to see which New Day member gets in Money in the Bank. There's a lot of ways they can play it, so that's going to be very interesting. The opening segment, Daniel Bryan, great as usual. He came across as a real person compared to most on the roster. Cass was also a great a-hole heel. The beatdown by Bryan was also really good, and the crowd loved all of it. That was a very good start to the show. And, Andrade Cien Almas, that was the only, cutout fight. Celebration, like I said, fine segment. Carmella was annoying, but in a good way. And now you've got that Money in the Bank match set with Asuka and Carmella. And hopefully Asuka will have a good match with Carmella, whereas Charlotte Flair did not. The women's match, like I said, solid. But there were times where it felt a little disjointed and far from smooth. And, of course, the main event. Easily the fight of the night and easily the best AJ and Nakamura fight in WWE today. Better than WrestleMania. Better than Greatest Royal Rumble. Better than Backlash. So this one delivered. And I'm hopeful. I am hopeful that Nakamura picks a stipulation where there will be no BS, no controversy. Whoever they decide to put over, hopefully that man will finally walk out with the belt once and for all. We can finally put the feud on hold, and then maybe we can get some new blood in there. Maybe we can get Samoa Joe in there. Maybe we can get Daniel Bryan in there. I don't know. We'll see. But 7.5. I agree. It was even. I mean, I don't know which show was better. Was Raw better? Was SmackDown better? Each show had a show stealer. Last night we had Rollins and Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship stealing the show. And then from there, you had AJ and Nakamura stealing the show tonight for SmackDown Live. So go figure. It was the workhorses who stole the show, Rollins and AJ. That's all there is to it. So 7.5. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I mean, I thought both shows were really good, and Florio and I, we talked about this. Normally, these tape shows are not really that good. Not the case here. So definitely kudos to both Raw and SmackDown Live for stepping up. And yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So 7 to 7.5. So, Fletch, if you're ready, I think it's time for your Mikey's mindset.
All right. Unfortunately, I'm gonna do the RWA next week because next week is gonna be their. This week is it. Because they're 10 days out, and their next big show is Dynasty, which is going to be on May 25th. I'm going to do a full preview next week on the Mikey's Mindset for that particular show. However, what I do have is SEF. And what happened this week, well, was Anarchy. And like I said, it was the Anarchy Dome, and it was rocking in LA. And boys, we had history. The first ever Anarchy champion was going to be crowned, and when it was all said and done, it was a battle royale. Everybody was going to get to compete and battle, and whoever was the last man standing was going to walk out with the title. And when it was all said and done, it became abundantly clear Chris Orton, no relation to Randy Orton, has made history. The first ever Anarchy champion of the company. He wins the Battle Royale and takes home the belt. And it was a historic moment, to say the very least. Unbelievable evening with some great action. It was a good battle royale too. So, like I said, if you guys want to see it, go to SEFWM.com. That's where you can get all the great Anarchy stuff, as you get it from the great internet wrestling community. Now, of course, there is an event coming up, guys. So just give me one moment if I can pull that up, because there's a war show going down. I believe it's tomorrow. I believe, because they do it every 2 weeks. So what we do have, if I can get the, let me see if I can find the fight card for you fine folks, and then I'll set it up. So that was Anarchy 31. Here we go. It should be right here. Yep. War 190 is the name, is going to be the show, and this is the fight card as it's going to be going down tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be going down tomorrow, and it starts with what we're going to have is a one-on-one match, Jade West versus Seth Moxley. The other one we're going to have is Cliff O'Crank, and he's going to go up against Sammy, a special promo segment by the Show Stealer. And oddly enough, the newly crowned Anarchy champion will go one-on-one with CX Cash. And in our main event of the evening, the Careless Pain and Rick Reynolds puts the SEF Trios Championship on the line against Tina, Simon Lee Nash, and Jason Stratus. That's going down tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And again, it's exclusively on SEFWM.com. So, guys, that's it for tonight. That's it for the Cerebral Smack Talk. And Anthony Florio, why don't you set the table for Strictly Sports on Friday?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Friday night on Strictly Sports, we will pay our respects to the late, great Chuck Knox, who passed away. We'll get into that. We'll pay our respects to him, the great coach of the Seattle Seahawks back in the 70s and 80s. There will be some hard time stories, unfortunately. Matt Patricia charged with sexual assault, 2 firings in the NBA, Stan Van Gundy and Dwayne Casey, both fired from their respective head coaching jobs. But it will get better. We'll get into UFC. The UFC will be moving to ESPN Plus in 2019. Matt Harvey traded to the Cincinnati Reds. And then in our main event, we will have our newest installment of the Major League Baseball Power Rankings. The 2 teams that will more than likely be number 1 are currently battling it out right now, whoever comes out of that will very likely be the #1 team come Friday night. So that all goes down Friday night, 10:30 on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. We hope to have you with us. So nothing more to say on that. MF, let's put a bow on this thing.
All right, and that is it, guys. So for Anthony Florio, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Flecha. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening to this. And thank you for making the Wrestling Forum, the Cerebral Smack Talk, or the or Ridiculously Raw, or the Cerebral Smack Talk, the most must-see program on YouTube.com. For all of us here, have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.